I can't believe it's 2023 and I am making a video about this. So, this is my second ever job I had. Again, not gonna say the name of the place, not gonna say the names of the people involved, not gonna read the text from my bosses because that's private. But I will tell you the story. Again, I can't believe this is 2023 and I have to make a video on this. So let's jump into it. After not working at the awful, horrible daycare anymore, I went to work at a cafe close to my house. Even though I said I could work more than 2 days, I was working 2 days for $9 for 2 days, but you know, whatever. But you make most of your money in tips in a job like that, so I wasn't really gonna complain. So I was working there. I would work during the weekday with the 2 bosses, and then I would work on the weekend with a couple of people near my own age. Well, actually 1 person near my own age, which it was fine. Usually they were making the food and I was doing the dishes, so no problem. We were the only 2 left to close up. And once they were counting money and said, "We're like Bonnie and Clyde." That was obviously funny, like, you know, we were counting the money and it's like, we're like Bonnie and Clyde, and it was funny, because, you know, if you don't know who Bonnie and Clyde are, you can pause this video and look it up, but I think everybody basically knows the gist of Bonnie and Clyde. We were talking about my boyfriend, who is still my boyfriend currently, and he said, build a foundation with him. If you don't, I may steal you away. And I didn't really think much of it at the time because, you know, it was like, okay, like most people, like, when you make friends with guys who find you attractive, they'll say things like that. And he had already said he found me attractive. Like, he had already, like, said that, but I thought he respected the fact that I had a boyfriend. I accidentally made a squeaking sound because, you know, I was trying to put something up on a top shelf, and you know, when you're short like me, you go like trying to get it, but I accidentally went like I made a little squeak like a mouse, and he said, "Don't worry, I can make you squeak," which at this point I'm feeling very uncomfortable, very threatened. It's just me and him. We locked up the restaurant for the night. I'm stuck in this building with him. Like, I'm very uncomfortable. He reached over me to put a dish in the sink, and he stayed right up on me, behind me, and said, "You smell nice." In those situations, I freeze. I don't slap anybody, I don't elbow anybody, I don't kneel where the sun don't shine. I froze. I was washing dishes and I literally just froze. I can give you experiences your boyfriend can't. He can give you experiences that I can't. Inappropriate, first of all. I'm in a relationship. Would I be dating my boyfriend if he didn't give me an experience that I want? No. I've been used and abused in the past, and like I wouldn't be dating this person if they weren't giving me experiences that, you know, are good, like normal relationship healthy experiences. He asked if I was in the LGBT community. I'm very open about that. I am pansexual. I, you know, told him, yes, I am in the LGBT community. I don't find it as an offense if you ask me, but be careful. Some people find it offensive if you ask them. And so he said, "Oh, I've never, you know, met a girl who also likes girls." He said there was another girl that likes girls that I used to work with closing here, but she didn't agree to have a threesome with me. And I'm like, well, not everybody's open to that. And he was like, would you want to have a threesome with me? I'm like, I am dating someone. And he said, asked if my boyfriend would be mad. And I said, yeah, because he's my boyfriend. And he's like, would he be mad if he was also getting some? I'm like, excuse me? Are you trying to proposition my boyfriend for a threesome just so you can get me to have a threesome with you? No, you can find so many people that would have a threesome with you just like off the street. Like there are so many people that would have a threesome with you. Like, I don't know why I'm the one that, anyway. So he said, I am a dog in every sense of the word. And he was super close to me when he said that. Like there was no room in between us. And just saying something like, I am a dog in every sense of the word is very threatening to me. Because it makes me uncomfortable. Because if you guys know, like, the meaning behind that, like, okay, so let me give you a little history lesson for when I was younger. So obviously when we're in preschool, dog means the pet, like wolf, like, you know, the pet and everything. When I got into middle school, dog was a derogatory term for a womanizer, a disgusting guy, a guy that, like, you know, plays with girls' hearts, like, you know, like, but it also could mean my homie, like, hey dog, what's up? Like, it could mean that, but it more meant he's such a dog, like, you know. So I don't know why I said homie. Oh my god, that was so cringy. I went back in middle school because that's the last time I heard the word dog being used, like what I was explaining. But anyway, so he would get super close to me and say, I'm a dog in every sense of the word. And I froze because I thought about those middle school days where it's like, oh my gosh, he's a dog. He plays with people. But it also made me feel like I was prey and he was a predator hunting me. That's what it felt like, and that's when I immediately was like, there is not, like, something is wrong here. So he tries to boop my nose, then actually does it. Booping the nose is this, by the way, if you didn't know when someone goes like that. He said, admit it, you want me to boop your nose. And then just did it without my permission. Now, I'm not going to say that those things still stick with me. They don't. Until I read that stuff, I completely forgot everything he had said to me because it was a one-off thing. But I will say in this video something that I think if I have older people that watch me usually, but I will say something in case there is a younger person that this video is recommended for, or they click on my video, or they don't know. This is considered workplace harassment. And I can tell you a silver lining to this story. The silver lining to this story is, after hearing about this, he was fired. But the other funny thing on top of that is hold it. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. This may be just a number to you. 1 complaint, 2 complaint, 3 complaint. I was the 4th girl to complain about him, and he didn't get fired till I said something. People had moved their shifts to avoid him. Well, I quit because 1, I need to focus on school because I had really hard classes, and 2, I wasn't getting paid enough. $9 for 2 days. One day I'm working 8 hours. That's not enough. I will say, They did teach me how to work in food service. They did teach me, you know, how to do that. But, you know. So. Okay. And I do have one more thing to share with you. Okay, so I started working with a girl there, and she was the one that came clean to the bosses, and she was the one that told them what happened to me because I didn't feel comfortable rocking the boat, and then the bosses are like, no, tell us. Like, it's not rocking the boat. So yeah, that's basically what ended up happening. Obviously, like I told you, I'm not going to share the text with my bosses because that's private information was shared in those texts. But I basically told them about my experience and how he made me uncomfortable, and they terminated him. Fired, for those who don't know what terminated means. And yeah. I'm more scared about posting this video because he is younger. He's like a few years younger than me. And I don't want him to see this video. But like everybody told me with the daycare video, they said, it's your story to tell. Only you have the permission to tell this story. Which, yes. And if you want like to know what to do when you're talking about bad experiences in a workplace, don't mention the name. You see how I've never mentioned the name. Do not mention any of the people's names involved in the story. I didn't say my boss's names. I didn't say the girl I worked with, and I didn't say the guy who was doing all of this. Don't say any of their names. That's how you do it. Just talk about your experience and how you felt. When I was talking about the daycare, I didn't talk about any of the boss's names. I didn't talk about any of the teachers I worked with. I didn't say anybody's actual name. Like, that is not the person I am. I'm not trying to call out certain people. I'm trying to call out an environment. When I make these videos, I'm not trying to make an exposed video on my bosses or the guy I worked with, or I'm not trying to make an exposed video on any of these people. I'm just trying to talk about what the workplace environment was like and why I don't think anybody would want to work in that environment. This girl and a bunch of my friends after the fact made me realize that what happened to me at this cafe job was not what I wanted. And what had happened to me was I was sexually harassed. And I've been sexually harassed before in a relationship. So I've been sexually harassed in a relationship, but I had never been sexually harassed in the workplace. And now that it happened to me, I can honestly say it happens way too often to way too many women. And just because you smiled at them, just because you agreed to be this person's friend, just because you were nice to them, just because whatever, does not give them the right to say things like, don't worry, I can make you squeak. I'm a dog in every sense of the word. Like, nothing gives a person the right to say that to you. Anyway, no, but it sadly happens to way too many women. And it really made me realize, like, America doesn't like women. Which, I mean, I'm still going to keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm not going to let anyone stop me from achieving what I want to achieve. So, yeah, I mean, things are crazy out in our world, so please stay safe. And if you're experiencing workplace harassment, please look into what your company has. There are policies for it in companies. If there aren't, there should be. If there's not a policy in your company, please try to find another company. I know it's not easy to find jobs out there. I am currently trying to look for a new job. I've been looking for a new job. I've applied to so many places. I've checked up and yet nothing. So yeah, please, if you can get to another job that has a policy of that, please. Even so, if you don't have a policy, talk to your boss. Maybe they have something in place for it. But just know, you are beautiful. You don't deserve to get sexually harassed. Also, I want to point this out. Men get sexually harassed too. If you are a man and this is happening to you, please do the same thing. Go to your boss, talk to your HR department, find out what your job's policy is on sexual harassment. Women sexually harass men too, and it happens way too often and no one speaks up about it. So I'm going to be the voice. Anybody who has experienced sexual harassment in the workplace, please speak up. Please speak out. It'll make people feel like they're not alone. I'm putting out this video so you all feel like you're not alone who have experienced it too. If you don't feel comfortable saying it publicly, but you want to get it off your chest, you can always DM me, KCam9 on Instagram, or Starburst 23, I'm sorry, STARBUR5T23 on Twitter. You can DM me any of those two ways and we can talk about it. Then again, if you don't want to DM me, that's cool too. You do not have to. It's just if you want to get it off your chest. But I am not a person that can do anything about it. I'm not like a law enforcement. I'm not. If it's very serious to the point where you should get law enforcement involved, get law enforcement involved. Like if it turned into stalking or something worse, get law enforcement involved. Mine was just while I worked there this happened. He didn't stalk me after. He didn't like anything. So that's why I didn't need to go to law enforcement. But yeah. So I don't know where this video went, but that's all I'm gonna say. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe.